I'm Jenny Brundle here for MCN Buzz TV, and we are from Birmingham Comic Con and Expo Memorabilia, and I am joined by Miriam and Brian, who are both from the brand new film Booked Out, which they're here promoting, which is on DVD already. And I think you have a copy with you, don't you? Just
yes.
there, which you can all see, which is brilliant that it's already come out. How are you finding this weekend so far, both of you?
Yeah, it's been really great fun. It's the first time I've been at a kind of comic conference, so it's kind of a bit crazy, and I love seeing all the kind of characters. I think we've been sitting playing kind of Guess Who with all the characters this morning.
It's keeping us entertained, sitting there from early morning and seeing everyone dressed up, and they went to a lot of effort, so it's really nice.
Yeah, and your film's just come out, and you wrote it and directed it yourself. Where did you get your idea from?
Basically, I really love kind of American indie films, so I wanted to try and do like a British take on that, but still kind of try and keep it to be me. And also, the film's kind of about these kind of characters who all kind of live in a block of flats and kind of their interactions with each other. And I wanted to kind of write something with kind of interesting female characters at the core of the film. And I think a lot of time you just get the kind of girl next door, or she's the teacher one, and they're kind of not real girls. So I wanted to make something where they're real living characters and kind of had their own kind of quirks and eccentric things that everyone actually has in real life.
Yeah, and yeah, the film mainly focuses around Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that?
I basically I like the kind of the feel of kind of those kind of older kind of ways of communication. So like there's kind of Polaroids in it, but there's also kind of, she uses a typewriter and they kind of pass notes and stuff, and it's kind of like they're, in some ways they're kind of living in the past, so it's kind of like a comfort to them. But I also think there's a kind of, you can feel those things, whereas if you send a text message, it's kind of, it's hard for me to think what that means to me, whereas like if you write someone a note and you have to pick the paper, you have to pick the pen and how you've written it, and then you have to physically, how do you give it to them? And I think that's kind of like part of the film. That's kind of that kind of intimacy that you get from those kind of things. Basically.
And the film was shot in a very short space of time. Was it 19 days? Is that right? Thereabouts. How was that for yourself as an actress, working in a short space of time to produce a feature-length film?
Well, it was my first film experience, so I had nothing to compare it to, so maybe that was just as well. But it was very chaotic and very crazy, but I had a very good team in Brian as the team leader, and the rest of the crew and the cast was a great team behind me. So
yeah. And did you plan for it to be in 19 days?
Yeah, well I think basically there's a lot of indie films, you kind of look at what's the least amount of time you can take to make a film, and normally it's like 3 weeks. So we kind of thought, well, can we do it in 3 weeks? And we probably couldn't, but we managed to just about fit it all in.
Just under 3 weeks, that's brilliant.
So
it's to do with budget, it's money.
Yeah,
yeah.
If you got another day on set, then it's a whole, you have to pay everyone else and all the crew a lot of money.
So was it long hours as well?
Yeah.
Yeah? Dare I ask how long each day was shooting?
We probably shot for about 12 hours each day, but then you've kind of got the setup before and after it, so
and
traveling. So it's kind of, they were 12-hour days, but they were a lot longer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, I think everyone kind of came together because they really enjoyed the script, so it was kind of good having that kind of family atmosphere and making the film, and everyone kind of mucked in, and yeah, it's kind of, I'll forever be grateful for what everyone did for me.
That's brilliant. And the film takes place, as you say, in a block of flats, and I've read somewhere that the same flat was used for different locations, if that makes sense. So how did you work around that?
There was a lot of drawings basically, but basically we had 3 flats and we had to use this one flat for the other 3 flats. So I think the most obvious thing, I think most people don't notice when they're watching a film, but if you ever get to watch the film, if you look at, there's like a kitchen, and so in one flat it's a kitchen, the other flat it's a kind of like a window. We've made it into a window, and in Ailey's flat there's like a big kind of piece of artwork that we put over it. So I think it was kind of that, and there's also, because they're all going in and out the doors, you had to kind of make sure we knew because they were meant to be across from each other, so you couldn't have that weird thing where they look the wrong way and it doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of kind of, are we pointing the camera the right way type thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and for yourself, was it interesting working in the same location but for different places? Did that?
Well, yeah, because my character's bedroom or main room, that's where most of it is shot for my character. But then when it's Mrs. Nichols' living room, but because the art department are so good, when they have transformed it into another character's world, I'm not thinking this is Ailey's room. You know, you just believe in, because they've changed the room. Just like this room, they could change it into a bedroom, then next time they could change it into a living room. You're not going to think of the room beforehand because they've done a real good job in helping me to believe in imaginary circumstances as an actor. So, yeah. It wasn't hard to believe, no.
That's brilliant. And for both of you individually, what have you got coming up in the future?
I've started writing another script that I'm basically trying to, I'd hope to kind of be a bit further forward on, but the whole release of this has just taken over recently. But I've just started getting back to it, and it's kind of like a sci-fi film about a boy who you basically don't know if he's going mad or not, and it's not like a space sci-fi, it's more like kind of a psychological thing. So it's quite different from Booked Out, but I kind of, in some ways that's quite good because you've got something different to focus on rather than kind of, you know, I'm going to do the same again basically.
Yeah, that's quite good. And do you think?
I'm looking forward to get my hands on another script that inspires me as much as Brian's. The first time I read it out was it just made me laugh out loud, and I just really loved the story. So I don't think it's not that easy to get access and get your hands on scripts that make you want to work on it and pour your heart and soul into it. So yeah.
See what comes.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Well, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day here. And don't forget you can go and buy Booked Out now. And it's supposed to be very good.
Yeah, so www.bookedtechfilm.com.
Salut, je suis Jacob.
You're seriously weird?
I like being weird.
I'm writing a novel. It's set in the future, where the entire population have been wiped out. It's alright. Tell me what happened.
He's had a fit.
Everything about today is freaking me out.
Even me?
Especially you.
Rule number 1. Never keep a girl waiting.
You bought the sun.
Freezing.
The clouds and the tensions are gone.
You know, sometimes the hardest decisions are the easiest ones to make.
How's Mr. Nichols?
You're sitting in his chair.
C'est intéressant ça. Je parle une chaise vide.
I'm not worried about my French.
You should, it was awful.
You told me to come and see you.
What's the big secret?
So did you get funding help from the BFI or any of those?
No, I basically I didn't ask them, but the reason why was because not because I didn't want the money, but I had never done anything before in films. I hadn't done any short films or anything, and I looked at their application forms and they all kind of say, you know, provide some evidence of you working in this medium before and that kind of thing. So I kind of read it and then I looked at their timescales, and you have to wait a number of weeks, and it just felt like that. If I thought that was going to be the magic bullet, it was never going to happen. So
would you do it again? Now that you've got a film under your belt, would you ask them next time?
Definitely. I think it's getting. I think I'd try and get a distributor on board to kind of be interested in kind of doing the kind of pre-sales on the film, and then then potentially going to the BFI saying we've got X% of the budget, can you fill the gap for us? I think having a film behind me now, it kind of, well, I've not tried yet, but hopefully it will help kind of convince them that I can actually give them a film at the end of it that they want to invest in.
And I mean, there's quite a lot of independent cinemas out there, and the Picture House is chain fantastic, you know, looking after independent films. In the future, would you'd be interested in going into that, to present your films in cinemas? Or I know you said you had your premiere in.
So we've been doing a kind of UK tour for the last 2 weeks, and so basically we kind of self-released the film. So I kind of went around the country and kind of booked cinemas, or some of the cinemas have programmed us. So we've been kind of in Glasgow and Inverness and Newcastle and a bunch of other places, and we're in London tomorrow night. I don't know how soon this goes out.
From now.
Yeah. So we're in London on the 2nd and the 10th, and we've got a couple of others, one in Chichester on the 8th and one in Guildford on the 12th.
So quite busy then?
Yeah, so it's quite, but they've all been like little independent cinemas, which has been, it's kind of, that suits the type of film it is. But it's kind of, I went to the Odeon a few days ago, and I'd been around all these lovely little cinemas where they've kind of, they just seem like so nice and cosy, and they look after you, and you can tell everyone there loves film. And then you go to the Odeon and it's like, yeah, here's your ticket, and you're just kind of like, you know,
totally different.
I want to go back to the other place, but